Now, life in the capital city is tough and many find innovative ways to survive. One main challenge for a lot of people is accommodation, and those with little or no means at all locate any available space to erect makeshift structures for their home. In the following report, Beatrice Edu spends the early hours of the day at the Akufo-Addo Railway in Accra, where a lot of squatters have put up such structures to make life a bit easy for them.
It's been over a year since the Accra Metropolitan Assembly demolished illegal structures scattered on this parcel of land, stretching from the Aveno point of the railway through to South Industrial Area. To many, it was the boldest and best demolition exercise Accra ever witnessed. The exercise brought sanity around the Odona and Neoplan lorry stations, which are both located around the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. But for those individuals who cannot afford a regular room in Accra, coupled with other hassles of life, the bare land is their best bet for their habitation. It's a little over 5 a.m. here at the Odona Railway in Accra, and this place is already full of life. At Odona Railway, and this is where you would find a lot of people, both young and old, who are unable to afford the expensive fine accommodation in the finest part of the city. People have already started selling. Those who are cooking have already started and selling to people, and the situation here will tell you exactly how difficult it is for a lot of people to gather lots of money to pay for the finest accommodation. We'll speak to one person here who can tell us exactly how the situation is.
Some of us here don't exactly ought to be here, but it's like nature and circumstances, if I may put it again. And those circumstances are lack of employment. That is, they will have to tell you have to bring your certification, your job experiences and all those things before you get employed. Well, we don't have all those things, but we can do better in such fields like working and all those things. But the circumstances those that are here are most here now is that accommodation is not easy in Accra, if I may put it that way, because you have to pay 3,000, 3,500 before you can get an apartment in the city, which is very hard.
Another slum in making with its attendant nuisance, rather developing fast in a prime area such as the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. With a trampoline or canopy and a table with pillars at the four corners, the squatters here immediately put up their home and sleeping places. Table homes, as we choose to call it in this report. It's still early in the day and life is yet to begin for others. They are still sleeping. Perhaps they need it after a hard day's work the previous day. Others who are already awake have started their routine chores, getting ready for their daily activities, and right behind me is a man who is brushing his teeth. Drinking bars, pockets of young men smoking and idling about, and poor sanitation are the most prominent features that greet any first-time visitor to this slum. I meet Mr. Anthony. He's the elder here. He leads me around the community. Another resident here who wants to express the concerns of those living in this neighborhood, Odona Railway, and he calls himself King of the Street. Hello, sir.
Nice meeting you, girl. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing very well. How are you?
You know something? We made a cross-check last time. It's like we're almost like 45,000 people all the way from here to Nsawam. 45,000 people on the race line. We are Ghanaians. We also have our rights. Yeah? We also have our rights. So when you are sacking all these 45,000 people homeless, what are they going to be?
How do you know you are 45,000?
We checked.
Kubolo go to the very last time we na esa monche na na nsuma obia ya wa ma betwe to the kiosk no ye nim say to ma na ma ma baby am ye ti ato ti ne to aba no December 7 fema papa no ti papa no so ba na za mo fa tem betwe to the kiosk no ye ni baby akọ ehe ya na ma me wo ye to ye ukọ America kura Kubolo place wo ya bon taboda am 40 team ti ensanso na ese mo for survey ba ne man ya wa no so no nya sa konfo na wa o informant for wa sa konfo bi am robbers ba ye ti mi ton wodi ma police for be fa wo anwan for na wa anwan so ya za bia sa wunya obi a wani brade anya de be di uda sa gold lie wunya obi a wani brade a anya de be di uda anwan okay ma men kan no kran chira o swapping phone obi obe swapping sa nkofo no kwa na atia am robber bia nu otia wo ya am robber na wa yan kase be yi wutu am akọ.
As the sun rises, many leave for their various places of work. They return to their table homes just as everyone does in the evening. The fact, however, is you could possibly be working with one of them, except that you may not have any idea where they lay their heads at night. My name is Akufo-Addo for Joy News.
Thank you for staying here on Joy News Desk. Now, information available to Joy News indicates that President Akufo-Addo is probing his ministerial nominee for the Tourism and Creative Arts Ministry, Catherine Afeku. Now, the nominee and her husband, Seth Afeku, lost the case in an Accra High Court brought against them by an American couple. Madame Afeku's integrity came into question by the court, which asked the couple to pay back some money and return some assets. Manasseh Zuriawuni has more.
On November 30th, 2007, an Accra High Court presided by Justice Barbara Akayesu ruled against Catherine Afeku and her husband, Seth Afeku, in a breach of contract case brought against them by an American couple, Bill Jake and Patricia Jake. The American couple said Catherine Afeku and her husband had defrauded them to the tune of $217,000 and a Mitsubishi saloon car. The amount in question is said to be the cost of computers and other gadgets, as well as cash given to Mrs. Afeku and her husband to set up an internet cafe business in Ghana. The court subsequently ordered Mr. and Mrs. Afeku to pay the amount with interest, which they have started doing. When Catherine Afeku declared her intention to contest the Evaluate-Jomoro-Dura constituency of the Western region in 2008, some persons petitioned the MPP's national executive to disqualify her because of the court judgment against her. The Legal and Constitutional Committee of the MPP, chaired by the late Peter Alajeta, however, cleared her to contest the seat. Justice Barbara Akayesu said in the ruling that Catherine Afeku had lied to the court and she could have charged her for perjury. The MPP committee's report, a copy of which is available to Joy News, indicates that the MPP constitution required that candidates should be of good character. Portions of the judgment quoted by the committee showed that Catherine Afeku fell short of that requirement. The committee, however, concluded that falling short of honesty and integrity on one occasion could not be taken to mean that was the character of Catherine Afeku. She was cleared and she went ahead to win the Evaluate-Jomoro-Dura seat in 2008. She lost the seat in 2012 and reclaimed it last year. In 2013, Catherine Afeku and her husband went back to court to challenge the 2007 verdict against them. According to Catherine and Seth Afeku, the son of the American couple had confessed in a video recording that there was a collaboration to concoct evidence against the Afekus. Joy News sources in government say gender and regional balance were part of the considerations for her nomination as Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister.
The next nominee on the list is one of the dynamic women in our party. She's a well-known figure, very eloquent, with a great deal of charisma and personality. We want her to spearhead an area of our national life that, in my view, we have not taken sufficiently seriously, but which provides tremendous opportunities for job creation and for big revenues to our national accounts, to develop a really solid infrastructure for the tourist industry in our country. If it succeeds, it will be one of the transformational elements in the overall process of national transformation. I think for that to happen, you need somebody who is going to approach the job single-mindedly and who will have the personality to be able to appeal and talk to the stakeholders in this very complex industry. In our party, so many talents, but I think a lot of people will agree with me that Catherine Ifeku is somebody who can do such a job very well. So she's the person that I'm nominating to the House. She's currently the MP for Evaluate Ajumoro Jura. Has been in and out. She was originally, then they sent her away, but she's fought her way back. That's her. Very, very tenacious, and she's back again in the House as the minister, as the member of Parliament for that. I believe that she has the qualities that will make her a fine minister for tourism, arts and culture.
But the president has started probing her. Joy News has cited a memo submitted to the president by Catherine Apeku's lawyer, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, last week. The memo says there were no findings of fraud or criminality against Catherine Apeku. The actual trial of Catherine Apeku's appeal is yet to begin. What is not clear is whether President Nana Akufo-Addo will withdraw her nomination or allow her to face the vetting committee of Parliament.
Okay, so I'm here with Honorable Pacho. I mean, President Wabudi. I be on back as a Menyagel. Yes, Minister-designate for tourism, culture, and creative arts. We are here to solve our small issues in-house. Yes, so family matters.
For Joy News, Manasseh Azore Arene reporting.
Away from that, confusion hits Ghana Post as workers embark on a silent protest demanding the removal of the director, Eric Yao. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba is at the head office of Ghana Post right now and joins us with some live pictures and updates. Hello, Maxwell. Can you briefly explain what this demonstration looks like currently from where you are?
Okay, Benes, the demonstration itself has not started. Right now, what is happening here is that we have some of the union leaders going around, drawing the attention of all the workers here in this building about the situation on hand. Now, what they want to do exactly is that they want to gather all of them and then bring them here at the inner perimeter of the Ghana Post so they can address them and tell them about the outcome of the meeting that they had yesterday with the management of Ghana Post. Now, amongst the numerous issues and concerns the union leaders are raising, one of them is what they call gargantuan corruption through ICT head and then the managing director and then the deputy managing director. They are alleging that the ICT head has colluded with the managing director and the deputy managing director to engage in some fictitious acts. These are some of the concerns that they are raising. Now, if you come here in the presence of the Ghana Post itself, there are signage placed here right at the entrance. A lot of them here at the reception. Now, some of the signs read, this one, for instance, says, MD must proceed on indefinite leave and now. Now, there's a second sign that also says the reconciliation must not be dissolved. Agenda to still. On the main information board, the staff information board itself, that's where we have the information. Gargantuan corruption through ICT head, managing director, and deputy managing director. They must account and proceed on indefinite leave by union. Right now, we have some cars also coming in, some workers still coming to work. And some few minutes ago, some workers were standing on the corridors of the Ghana Post itself, trying to see exactly what is happening. Some of them actually do not have the information on what is going to happen here today. The union leaders call it a rally where they would address the workers here. Now, let me take you closer to the reception itself. Now, that sign over there you can see behind me says, "Too much chop stealing at Ghana Post." There's a second sign there that says, "The current staff movement must be reversed until the new board is constituted." Now, there's another sign also that says, "Gargantuan stealing through ICT units must stop." Now, those in the background right now at the moment are some of the union leaders. You can see them with red bands around their hands, around their heads, signifying what they want to communicate, signifying their disagreements and their grievances. My left-hand side, there's a sound system that came in about 20 minutes. And the union leaders are expected to speak through the sound system. Some music likely to be blared, through these sound systems as well. Now, let's find out from him what their main concerns are and why they want to demonstrate test. Sir, I would have you introduce yourself and then tell us about the details of this protest by workers of Ghana Post. We hear you fall under the Commercial Workers Union, right?
No, actually I'm the Deputy General Secretary of the Communication Workers Union. Communication Workers Union,
CWU.
Exactly.
Okay, tell us, what are the main issues you are raising? Why are you demonstrating? Why are you protesting?
Well, actually, the union have its own structures. Ghana Post is a division of the Communication Workers Union. The divisional executives raised an issue of concern affecting the operations of Ghana Post in Accra. So we came to meet with the management last week, and just yesterday we were at the meeting. Now, one major concern is about the ICT department, of which the head of ICT was alleged to have been involved in some dealings. So we brought up the issue with the management, right? Then we followed it up yesterday. Yesterday's meeting, management brought out the investigative report, and during the discussion of the investigative report, most of the issues that we raised concerning the head ICT came up to be true, and then a lot of monies were involved. Actually, we are still in. We just came down from a meeting with the DMD, that's the Deputy Managing Director, Finance and Administration. As we talk now, they are in a management committee meeting. The issues are numerous, but what we want to protest against is that when these issues came up, we were expecting management to be very proactive, but they delayed action on the issue. But that notwithstanding, some progress has been made.
Okay, so by inference, from what you are telling me, if I'm to make any deductions, the main issue, the core reason why you are embarking on this protest is because of some corruption, you say, in the ICT department.
Exactly.
And you feel that the Deputy Managing Director in charge of Finance and Administration colluded with the head of ICT?
No, he did not collude.
Okay.
What we are trying to say that it involved the head of ICT. These issues was raised at our meetings with management, and they promised to launch an investigation into the case, which they have done. We are discussing currently the report.
So if it is about the head of ICT unit, why are you implicating the Deputy Managing Director in charge of Finance and Administration also?
Well, no, I don't think anyone is implicating the FND.
But because that is what is stated on your staff notice board.
I've not seen that.
You want him? No, in fact, if it says gargantuan corruption through ICT head, Managing Director and Deputy Managing Director must account and proceed on indefinite leave. You're implicating him.
No, well, with this, I'm just saying this one. That's the MD.
So that's misinformation, you want to say?
I will not say misinformation. They are the division. I'm coming from national.
Okay.
Well, but we have sent a consent there, which is on the table currently. we just closed from a meeting and then we've gotten somewhere. But what I can establish for a fact that allegations have been, the allegations that have been raised against the head ICT has been confirmed by the investigative report. Okay. That he is involved in some dealings. Which are you dubious?
Are you able to speak directly to the dubious dealings that you're talking about?
Yes, yes. You know, the key one here is about Microsoft licenses, which he led someone purportedly to come from Microsoft Kenya to come and claim some monies for Microsoft license fee, ranging to about, let's say, 184,000 Ghana cedis. Okay. Aside that, he bought certain equipment for certain projects, like headphones, and some of the headphones were nowhere to be found. They cannot be accounted for. Now, we have a project we had wanted to do with Electricity Company of Ghana, and the equipment that he allegedly bought, because all these purchases were done by him by himself, can never be traced. Now, then there's this key one also concerning SMS. You know, people post items and then he is an employee of Ghana Post as a contract staff. And the allegation is that the same person owns the company that is working for.
So that's some kind of conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest. Meanwhile, Ghana Post has engaged you and it's paying for your services. So as for the issues, these are the main ones that has come up. And then looking at the amount involved, we are not so.
So you talked about an investigative committee that's been put in place. Have they been able to establish all claims against him?
Yes, of course. I can say for a fact that, yes, like I mentioned, the ECG equipment, the headphone, they have been established for a fact. Okay. Server maintenance, you know, he paid he collected so much amount of money to service a server. And if you look at the cost of the server and the maintenance, you realize that the maintenance fee is far above the cost of or the value of the server. So that's where we are now.
Okay, so you're only calling for the head of the ICT unit?
Well, now we have not concluded the issue. From the national point of view, we are still in a meeting, and currently the management are holding a caucus meeting, after which they will invite the national union. After that, then I can give you the concluding aspect of
You've placed some signage here. There's one that says the current staff movement must be reversed, I must say, until the new board is constituted. Can you speak to that also?
Well, currently I cannot speak to that because I just came in. Movement concerning Ghana Post, I need to be given a briefing by my divisional executives, then I can speak to that issue. Yes, because movement letters are not copied in the union.
Okay. One of the signs actually was also calling for the head of the HR. The head of human resources. What about that also?
Well, the issue concerning the HR is not in play now. I can give you details of all these issues if we finish our meetings with
Okay, finally, before you go, what is happening in the inner perimeter right now? We hear there's going to be a rally, or what do you call it?
Well, you know, the union can call rally in issues like this because, you know, the workers are agitated. The others need to be informed about what is going on. So as you can see, the staff are coming out together to listen to their executives, which is division. So that is the issue. So a rally, of course, yes, is going on, as you can rightly see.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Okay, so Dennis, so you just had it right there for yourself. A lot of the officials here, workers here, are stepping out from their offices to the inner perimeter. Very soon, this music, the sound system you see here, will be blaring out, you know, some loud sounds. I mean, it's getting noisy in here.
All right, Maxwell. Maxwell, before you go, just a little bit of clarity. We hear that the ICT head is implicated, the deputy manager, as well as the HR. But the man you spoke to now, the deputy general secretary of the Communications Workers Union, he says you give details later. But just a little bit of clarity. Are they also asking that the director resign? That's Mr. Eric Yao.
Come down from your offices.
Hello, okay, if I heard you properly, you're asking if they're also calling for the head of the director general.
We want to call.
Yes, that's what I'm asking, Maxwell.
We want back our.
Okay, well, Dennis, here, and from the interaction that I had with them, they are not really calling for the head of the director.
Unfortunately, we've lost him there, but at least he clarified that they are not calling for the head of the Director General of the Ghana Post. You're watching Joy News Desk. We'll bring you more stories here right after this. This is Joy News Desk with me, Benis Abubedu. Now, there are rumors some chiefs of Sunyani in the Bono-Ahafo region have decided to reject President Akufo-Addo's nominee for the region. Now, on January 24, 2017, President Akufo-Addo announced Kweku Asoma-Treme as the Bono-Ahafo Regional Minister-designate. Now, reasons for the rejection, as being reported, are unclear. The chiefs are holding a press conference today on the matter. But before that, my colleague Precious Semevo is on the line with us to bring us up to date with what is happening. Hello, Precious. Now, what exactly are the chiefs saying?
Well, the press conference just came to an end here in Sunyani.
Okay.
The palace, the main palace of the Sunyani Traditional Council. Now, their main core is that due to the behavior and actions and inactions of the regional minister nominated, lawyer Akufo-Addo, who is also the chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the traditional council, which comprises of all the chiefs, the queen mothers, and all the elders, cannot work with the nominee for the president for the region. They, cited reasons during the run-up to the elections from 2015. The former president, John Dramani Mahama, came to town, and then the chief promised that the region was going to give the president about some 80% of a total vote. And that is what degenerated into a back and forth banter between the traditional council and then the then MPP chairman, who is still the chairman now. They summoned him so many times, but he failed to turn up to the traditional council to answer some comments that he is alleged to have made against the chief of Sunyani. And they also said that he incited the public against the chief, thereby suggesting that anytime a chief summons somebody to the palace, it is not an offense if you decide not to go. The Council of Elders of the New Patriotic Party in the Bono-Ahafo region also made an attempt to bridge the gap between the two factions. But according to Nana Bofu Tiabuambonsem, who is the Kunti-Hine of Sunyani, that could not materialize because according to the Council of Elders, their attempt to bring lawyer Akufo-Addo to the chief failed, and as a result, they cannot do much about that. So in effect, they are saying that they reject the president's nominee, although they cannot force the president to bring another person. But all they are saying is that, yes, he is going to be the regional minister, but they are making it clear to all and sundry that they cannot work with someone who undermines their authority. What happens if he needs a land? Will he be able to come to them? Will he invite the traditional council when he is organizing programs for the region? So that is the situation here. But just to bring it to an end, I asked Nana Bofutia 1.7, specifically said that what will reverse the situation is that they don't reject people who come to the chief's palace. So if lawyer Akufo-Addo himself decides to honor the invitation, though belated, they will be ready to welcome him and see how they can bring a peaceful end to all this.
But Precious, have we had any word from the Minister-designate?
Hello, come again.
Yes, I'm asking if we've had any response from the regional Minister-designate, Akufo-Addo.
No, not officially, but after he was nominated, he has been on some radio stations in town, and basically what he is saying is that he is going to do everything possible to ensure that there is peace and development in the region. But with this particular press conference and concerns raised by the chiefs rejecting his nomination as the regional minister, we wait to see what he will say, whether he will take the suggestion that he could come back to the Chiefs Palace and see how he can bring a finality to this.
Thank you very much, Precious Semevo, my colleague, bringing us some updates from Buno-Ahafo, to be specific, Sunyani, where chiefs there have held a press conference and saying that they're rejecting the president's nominee of the Buno-Ahafo region, Akufo-Addo. He's the regional minister-designate. Now, on the same matter, some residents of Sunyani have expressed mixed reactions about the nomination of lawyer Akufo-Addo as regional minister. Now, the current regional chairman of the MPP may not be in the good books of some people, including the Sunyani Traditional Council, after his public rebuttal with the Omanihene of Sunyani, Nana Busuma Aso Nkrawie II, months before the elections last year. But some other residents who spoke to Join You say he should be given the opportunity to head the region, with the hope that he will change.
I don't really know him. I don't know much about him, actually. But people also have other opinions about him. I'm just hoping that all, like the people of Buno-Ahafo, should trust him and should believe in him. Give him this opportunity and let's see how best he can handle the region.
His attitude and character are very questionable. Should the president maintain him, he needs to check the way he speaks to people, especially those he would govern. We are all at fault. We all make mistakes. We do not get it right all the time, and so the chiefs should forgive him if he's wronged them. He should also watch the way he speaks to people.
Well, from the Buno-Ahafo region, let's move to the Volta region. 2 police officers were injured Wednesday following clashes between nomadic herdsmen and farmers of Sokode and Do in the Volta region. Now, the clashes have persisted since last week, climaxing in violent reprisals from both farmers and the herdsmen. The farmers complain their animals destroy their farms. Joining us this morning with updates is our correspondent, Hubert Mauli Yevu Agbi. Hello, Hubert. Now, you were there yesterday and have been there this morning. What is the situation on the ground currently?
But as I must say, yesterday, throughout the day, the youth were on rampage on the highway, where they even mounted checkpoints to check vehicles passing to see if they find Fulani men in the vehicles on this road. And throughout yesterday, it was a bit chaotic at Sokode-Ando because the youth were actually on the road, also checking for, looking out for Fulani men, both in the bush and on the road, and the police had to intervene. And in the course of that, 2 policemen were severely injured, one stabbed in the stomach and one cut in the head. We're told that they are responding to treatment. And on the road this morning, I must say that the areas where the checkpoints have been mounted are all cleared. I'm told that the assembly members and called the order And so this morning, cars are flying this road. There are no checkpoints on the road. There are no danger on the road, and life is returned to normal.
All right, Mauli, just help us clarify this. Did the residents attack the police or the headsmen did?
The residents, the headsmen actually called for police protection. And at the time, the residents pursued them in the bush, and they had to leave their cattle scattered in the bush. And so they called for police protection. When the police got to the site to look at what was happening, the residents rather accused the police of giving protection to the Fulani, the nomadic headsmen instead of them. And so they had to confront the police, and in the course of that, there was a scuffle between both sides. And so because they outnumbered the police, that resulted into serious injury. So they clashed actually with the police in the bush, and two of them who are currently responding to treatment. They have also seized 3 rifles of the police. Through some negotiation yesterday, the police were able to retrieve 2 of those rifles after the SWAT team arrived at the scene. So 2 of those guns have actually been retrieved. Remaining 1 that is yet by the town folks here at Sokodia.
All right, Mauli, finally, before you go, has there been any arrest in relation to the residents who attacked the policemen?
No, my information this morning indicates that there has not been any arrest yet. The police are still trying to retrieve their arms, first of all, and they are still investigating both the death of the man who the town people are protesting and the incident that happened yesterday.
Thank you for those updates, Mauli. We'll come back to you for some more updates. But let's speak to ACP Nana Asuman. He is the Deputy Volta Regional Police Commander to give us some updates there. Good morning, sir. Thanks for your time. Now, we know that you deployed a SWAT team to the town yesterday. How many men were deployed, and what's the situation there now?
For strategic reasons, we sent policemen there. That's all. The situation is very calm.
All right, sir. But we're hearing from our correspondents that you haven't made any arrests so far as regards the people who attacked your officers. What's the progress with that?
Yeah, well, they ambushed the policemen, so we couldn't identify anybody. It's a mob action. But we are doing our own investigation and gather intelligence when there's a need to arrest.
All right, but exactly how did the ambush occur? If you could just help us, just briefly to help us understand how the ambush occurred and how these people were able to disarm the officers.
Originally, the locals attacked the Fulanis, so they sent a distress call. The district police commander sent a team to rescue the Fulanis. On their way going, the locals marshaled up resources and ambushed the policemen. Shot into the police vehicle, ties, deflated the ties, and they were able to disarm our men.
All right, so please, just briefly tell us if you've been able to retrieve your weapons or not.
Yes, we have retrieved all the 3 weapons.
You've been able to retrieve the weapons. Okay, so any timelines to this particular situation? When will the men who you've deployed, when will they be recalled?
No, depending on the situation.
But are you working with any timelines? For example, are you hoping to solve this within a certain time frame?
Well, hopefully, I'm sure by the close of the day, okay, but it depends on the situation there. Because we are able to evacuate all the Fulani people, so there's nobody to attack now, and the Fulani are not going to attack anybody there. So hopefully, by the close of the day, if the situation is okay, we assess it and take a decision.
But finally, before you go, ACP, there's an allegation that one man was killed, a resident of Akufo-Addo was killed by these headsmen, and that's why the residents attacked the headsmen. Is there any, conclusion to that matter as well?
Oh, that is, I'm sure, fallacious. Somebody died in the bush. They reported to us. We went there, picked the corpse, and put that in the box. We are yet to do post-mortem. And we haven't arrested anybody for that crime. So I don't know where they are coming from.
Well, thank you for your time this morning. That was ACP Nana Suman. He's the Deputy Volta Regional Police Commander, and he joined us with some updates. Now, away from that, Parliament's Appointments Committee has recommended for approval 8 of President Akufo-Addo's 13 ministerial nominees vetted so far. A copy of the report available to Joy News excludes the names of Senior Minister Osafo Mafo, Energy Minister-designate Boachi Ejako, and 3 others. The report will be laid on the floor of the House for debate later this morning.